Hello, welcome back to part two of Deku in the High School DxD universe, where we left off of the real review of the Green Dragon Emperor. If you haven't seen the first one, I would recommend you do so. And also, most of this art is not owned by me; it's owned by its respected artists. I need to find the artist later on. And also, the art that I have for my profile is actually made by my friend Fame Rush on here on YouTube. You should go check her out. Anyways, Deku was muttering. He began to take notes, basically a notebook right out of his backpack from you see the last episode, one of the episodes of season 5, and literally Issei asking him, "Hey, dude, where'd you pull out the notebook?" And then he saw he was muttering, and then he stopped trying. It's like, he's muttering. He's not gonna listen to me. And then everyone just stared at him. Was like, "What do you mean?" And then they realized, oh, everyone's shocked and awe, but like, it's understandable. Which Ria says, "Why would you look at that? I was right." Deku found out his mother and say, "Yeah, I might as well not become a demon. Might as well become a demon. There might be a way for me to go if I talk to Lucifer or like the Demon Lord, your Demon King." It's like, "Yeah, you mean my brother, right?" Ria says, "Yeah, the title of Demon King is passed on since we have a demon civil war a long time ago with some factions that calls us the True Devils or some shit, or the Chaos Brigade. I don't even know anymore. We just pass it down. I think it's in a rating game or something. It's a very complicated system to even explain right now." It's like, Deku just says, "All right, noted." Takes more notes. he literally just goes, "Too bad we don't have any more Igbo places. You sure you want to give him Bishop or Rook or a Knight?" Which is merely interjected by a teleportation spell by, you guessed it, the Demon Lord himself, the Devil Bastard. Sirzechs says, I could give you 8 more evil palm pieces." He said, "Where'd you come from?" He said, literally says, "Where'd you come from?" Which Ria's response, "Long time no see, brother." Sona, which is the student body council president, "Sir Lucifer, sorry for not greeting you formally." Sirzechs responds to that, "Don't worry, I can stop. Quick stop by here." Hands 8 pieces, the 8 palm pieces. He might be and also kind of interested to watch. I had to do a spell around the score in order to not alert any other factions of his assistance. Just like the fallen angels, the Chaos Brigades, the Angels, and anyone else in our faction, just in case they want to steal him for himself. Probably the only person who has noticed is the Archangel Michael himself, which real is science and really is like, let's hope so. Which a lot of voices began to speak, like about 9, give or take. Yeah, no, it's not 9 or 10 voices. And which Konako just like a little creeped out and says, "Well, that's creepy, and that isn't coming from the perv." Which he says, he literally just yells out, "What does that mean, Konako?" Konako replies to that, "Shut up, you perv, you know what I mean." And which one of the voices speaks, "Do we have a choice in the matter?" Which is the 5th user. And while the first user says, "We don't..." Wait. "Our power is strong enough to basically just defeat anyone given out to the max potential of the 9th user. We had basically become strong enough to fight our rival in our world." Which Sirzechs responds, "What do you mean by your rival or arch enemy? Do you have anyone similar?" Deku is embarrassed as hell and confused how his right arm is speaking. It's like, who wouldn't? Which another voice, I do believe I do have a say in the matter. I have been dormant within this child. I am a skill known as, well, probably as a sage within it. I began to wait when an unknown power known to me appeared, as well as the secondary and third powers. Well, 2 unknown powers and possibly a third." Which Deku responds, "Who are you?" In which a angelic-like female voice responds, "I am Sage. You can name me later." Rhea says, "You do, but it's mostly Izuku's choice," which the voices agree in unison. So, which Sonora asks, Izuku, what is your choice, Izuku? Izuku says, I'll do it if it means to protect those who need it, or ask me to protect them, and also to basically go back home. And hopefully, it will basically be strong enough to defeat One for All and become basically a number one hero, or the greatest hero, whichever. And then which Grios actually has a good smile about it and just says, "Good, let's start." Which Grios is like, "Hey, it might hurt a little bit." Which is who's like, "What do you mean by that?" He says, screening. You'll see. A few minutes later, how do you feel? Oh crap! I'm about to sneeze. Crap! Sorry about that. Rios asks him, "How did you feel?" It's very different, but weirded out, but at the same time feeling not different at the same time. And all of a sudden, the wings starting to show. But a secondary set of wings, and angel wings, and a halo above his head started to show. Which the Archangel Michael in heaven replies, "Well, would you look at that? A hero has been born from two different worlds. Technically a third, since it's now holy demon and a not a transportation, but more like a holy demon and a hero." Sirzechs, I must go, but this is very interesting. We shall definitely be more in touch, dear little sister. And hey, don't call me her sister. You know I'm strong enough. I know. I'll let you guys decide who will get their familiars. Alright. I have important business to do. Oh yeah, good. Oh, so another question. Right, where are you gonna live? Suku replying, I don't know, maybe at the Sorcerer's Club. Crap. It's I lost. Okay. Konako, no. Sleep with the perb, so your innocence can rub on him, or like his innocence and your confidence and hero abilities can rub on him. You need to, that's horn dog. He says like, hey, that's not nice, Konako. I'm not a pervert or horn dog. Says the one who likes Rio's breast and touches him and overly drools over him. Is just, I do not. Take that back. And immediately Deku EXE has stopped running. Yeah, you can stay, he says house. Fine, Konako, you win. Easily. Hopefully my parents will understand. A few minutes later, well, it took me about like the distance it takes them to walk from the school to his Ise's house. Hiado, how do you say Hiado? Okay. You say, walking to the door. Hey, Dad, Mom, I have something to tell you. And which Mr. and Mrs. Hiado says, are you finally done lusting? Or is it that you're in a relationship and done being a perv? Great, thanks for adding insult to injury, and that's not the reason why mostly we're what I'm about to tell you. And also you see me that low. Damn, that hurts. We basically had another chance to do, and I drew the short stick again this time. Again, this is Sukumidora. Can he stay here? Both of them noticing the innocence from Midora. He finally made it such a good friend. Oh, the best of all of you can even sense. And best of all, you can even sense honesty and kindness around him. Shit, I lost it. Sorry. He's gonna be a good role model for you. We say, why not? Let him stay, says Mrs. Keanu. They're both green unison. Something like you would expect from them. He says like, alright, I'm just gonna have to go. I'll be up, running back. I'm gonna be on some errands. Miss Hiado responds, don't stay out too late. Issei proceeds to meet the pretty fairy trans woman. Yes, I'm saying trans because that's what I think it is in my head canon. Don't be rude, alright? Alright. Which Ria gets Deku to talk in private. Which Ria says, we should start your train tomorrow and see how you'll go against all of us one by one, and you can use everything at your disposal. Izuku, that sounds great. He goes in bed a little excited, and then, starts to explore within his dreamscape. Instantly turns into his manscape. He can see. 8 figures. There's 8, the 9, 10. Yeah, 10 figures. 8 of them are the one for all users. Well, the 8 figure is basically the elixir, the green dragon emperor, and the other one is Sage, which Deku will name the Sage Angel Dina, or just Dina for sure, or just Dina, because Angel Dina is basically angel creation within the Bible, or something similar to that, because that's what I was able to find during my analysis. Anyways, Alexia says, since you're the first human to use me as a sake. I literally forgot about the other pictures. Where am I? There you go. Since you're the first human to ever use me as a sake, as well being physically fit as well as in training, you can actually handle me up to scale mode balance breaker, similar to that the Great Red Dragon Emperor. My basic powers are basically enhanced, which is basically a 5 times boost, similar to that of basically boosting I think like twice for the for drag, and as well as you can copy anyone else's basically abilities, basically anything to do with a sword, an axe, a spear, including a bow, and as well as, believe it or not, weaponry, like modern weaponry. It's due to your sage skill ability that I'm able to actually use that. It won't be like bullet fire, but it will be like a mix between holy, angelic, and demonic beams, like plasma beams. The 5-time body enhance is basically kind of like between every 5 to 10 seconds, as well as trying for you to enhance someone else's, since your ability, yeah. And since I did say about your ability creating that, it can also create new skills or weaponry within me. So I can decide to add swords, also axes, sides. You choose whatever. Which is like, oh, all right, cool. I will actually, which the sage is like, would you? I like me to analyze both the powers, both powers you have. Which he says, you know what? That sounds pretty good. Why not? Which she starts and like, I've been blocked by both of them. The first she's just like, yeah, we kind of don't want our stuff to be recopying impossibly. Which it took me to, no, don't worry. This is also my skill. Somehow I got it, but this is within me. Which, other than just like start looking at him like, what do you mean by that? It's like, I somehow have this power within me. It's like, it's not a quirk. It's like, if it was from a video game, like you can create just a random skill. So what you're saying is, this is your power as well. So technically it would be ours. Yes. All right. Then yeah, we will let him. I'd go by they then, but since I'm more like a female voice, you can be using the terms he and her. So you're looking, she and her. So you can use female pronouns. All right, got it. Says the second user. Well, the seven user, which I believe is Nanoshimura, agrees and is like, finally, someone else who isn't, someone who isn't the same male, being the bragging kind of like erotic. Which the fifth user says, hey, what is that supposed to mean? And so we cut back to Elixir. It's like, that's fine. If it makes me go great, more powerful, then it's alright with me. Alright. So, which the first user says, alright, we should probably tell the story on how most of us got our powers, since now you have dragon armor, you can basically go up to 25%, but it will give you cramps since you're not used to the enhanced power. Technically, your limiter has been changed up to you can use 5%, but it changed up to around like 10-15%, which is not that bad. Fifth user now complain and now says you can use black whip, a black like substance kind of similar to a rope, like spider webs in a sense. It's really hard to compare it, but since now it's been overpowered or on overdrive, or basically fully charged, overcharged. There you go. Within overall one for all correct power is basically more stronger than the one that I had. So you might have to be careful with that. And now with the powers that you have, which is the dragon armor, it might be even more. Which Alexia says that is true. You can actually use three different modes, which is the regular dragon scale with queen form with the wings, the buster armor, which actually includes the anti-air capabilities, which is weird. Most of any of the dragon armors, or basically something similar to that, didn't even have it. Anyways, being like basically a pulse cannon, 2 pulse cannons, and 2 railguns. And while basically the tank buster has basically 2 gigantic railguns on your back, which take a long time to charge but heavy defense. And also your starlight armor, which basically enhances your king form, which you can only use it up to 15 minutes. Basically, it's the same almost on par as that of the berserker mode of Dregs, or basically Isaac's berserker mode, which if he ever turns into berserker mode, you can actually handle him. This is basically to combat as like a hero analysis, a hero suit, which since you are angelic and also given basically reborn as a angelic demonic hero, which is really weird. You're the first out of 2 who are angelic and demonic. Which Iduku says, who's the other one? One of Rias' Parages. I keep forgetting his name, but he's a blonde one. He's, I think, a knight. Which, oh yeah, that's basically going to be the form of the angelic Dinah. Sage mode. Yeah, so yeah. Which we shall leave you to it. Deku wakes up to see his whole room, just like the season 4, season 5, where like he gets the mindscape and basically his whole room is just splattered. Which Rias comes in and is like, what the hell happened in here? Looks like a fucking bomb fest. Which Deku responds, I kind of met, you know how with the voices you kind of like we talked to yesterday? Which Ria replies, yes. In which we just kind of noticed that she was kind of naked and was like looking scared away. So I talked to them in space, and since the 1-for-all when I'm sleeping and that happened, maybe my power went out of control and that might happen. And can you put some clothes on? Which Rhea blows, why so? And then looks at her like, oh yeah, I was sleeping with that. You say, I didn't need to know that. Can you put some clothes on? Which Asia replies, hey, that's not fair. I also wanted to sleep with Issei. Izuku's just like, my head's gonna crash. My program's gonna crash. Alright, anyways. About basically, which is a Saturday, a couple of hours later. One of the training grounds that they have, so far away from basically any human life, and also they put out spells in order to basically make sure that no mortal or human can go walk in on them, which Deku just pulls out. I can actually, so you want me to fight all of you guys, which is Akano, Rias, Asia, Koneko, Issei, and whatever the fuck the name is of the blonde guy, but he's a knight. But you know what I mean. Which in response like, yes. Alright. Alexia all of a sudden, enhance, like every 5 seconds, 10 seconds. And Moon is proud. Balance breaker, scale mail, queen form. Which all of them replies like, what the hell did you talk to them? It's, oh yeah, my body can actually handle this form. Apparently or not. Anyways, you sure you want to? It's like, hell yeah. And which is just like, hell yeah, I may not be up to that, but like, boost. But boost sounds way better than enhance. Elixir response, don't be wrong, Right, Great Dragon Emperor's partner. Boost is good ability, just that mine is better. Mine's a 5-time enhancement, while yours is a 2-time boost. It's 2 times multiplier, while mine's a 5 times multiplier. Which he says like, God damn it, Drake, why you gotta be so bad? And Drake's like, you know what? Just for that, I'm not gonna let you use my. I'm not gonna use boost anymore. And so he's like, God damn it, I'm gonna die, aren't I? Which the rest of which Konoko's like, suck it, you perv. Anyways, which I can, you know what? Puts out her since is the not the temptress, lightningness something. I forgot the titles. I just actually put her titles the Templar of Lightning or something. Anyway, start using her since she is the Queen form, basically on a similar power to Deku, but just Deku is just like, he's not used to it. Basically, his dragon armor, he starts swinging his swords, which are similar to those of katanas, like katana arms, kind of like what Issa used, like as a sword between his arms, but instead they're katanas, and they're just fighting it out. Which a system a noise started beeping within Izuku's suit, and it's just like, oh, what is that? He looks towards what the sound is making. He sees the knight coming at him, which he blocks, kicks back, and it's just like, all right, man, that's actually a good form. Flies up. The only one who can fly basically are Rias and Akano, which they start using spells against him, and he's just dodging and weaving, trying to get out to him. It's like, God damn, if only I can use something else. And it's like, and which system would you like to use? Is machine gun fire. Pulls out to a submachine gun fire sec mode, which he starts as like, what spells are then? These are just demonic spells, are basically fireballs in a sense, like mid-level fireballs, something that won't hurt him as much, using the low power setting, and which he does starts flying out, dodging and weaving. All you can see is hearing similar to gunshots, which he transforms into his Buster mode, instantly starts flying and shooting, in which Rias just says, what is that? My Buster mode. Izuku says, this is my Buster mode. You should probably want to challenge for the mid-level fireballs. It's on low setting. I'm holding back. Which all of them can start feeling some of the pain. It's like, is that all you got? Izuku says, alright, let me see if this works. Because, I might have not broken armor, just my OP abilities. One for all. 10%. All you see is lining, a green lining starting to meaning between like greenish, bluish lining, something like that to his hair color. Just literally green lining, going out faster than before. And all you see is like boosters kind of coming from his back. It's like boost mode, active, Buster mode, secondary form, boost level, activated. He starts flying around as fast as me, which is like literally Mach 1. The only ones that can keep up with watching him are Larry, Akano, and Rias, and Konoko. Basically anyone that's not Issei. And he's just trying. Issei literally gets knocked out of the fight. Which Konoko's like, the perp didn't last. I knew it. You owe me $5. The knight says, hey, I don't know your shit. All of a sudden, you start seeing Starlight mode activated, King form. A more refined version of the Queen form, but elegant. It looks like what a hero would wear during the medieval times. 2 swords on his waist, 2 railguns on the back of his leg, and boosters kind of on his legs, and more angelic like wings, and a unicorn, kind of like it was supposed to like similar to that of a Gundam unicorn from the UC Gundam unicorn. You know which one anime I'm talking about. Anyways, and basically 2 automatic rifle, 2 like blasters right under his arms, kind of like you could see like kind of like Black Widow just having those wristbands, kind of like that, and just really shooting, kind of like that. And which they all sounds like, huh, that's not a form I ever seen. It's actually my king form, Starlight mode, which is supposed to be like a heroic, angelic body armor, body skill mail. Anyways, decide to pull out a type of weaponry. I can't remember. I saw this within another What If. Props to him. It's like a sword around your arms, kind of like that, pulls out, kind of like an engine sword, kind of similar to those, and starts weaving and attacking. Which Rhea says, "All right, that's enough for today. You can see our levels are basically up. Your power level, your powers beyond ours. We should probably get our familiars." And then realize, all right, we're supposed to battle it out with Sonus Parage. Which they meet Sonus Parage, and they said, we can't have Deku since he just got recently added to you. And I was like, yeah, that's fine. And which this whole Shiscano happens again. You know, getting the familiars. Deku's just sitting in front of Sana, just cheering on. As you just like, hey, that looks fun. And then you see getting kicked in the balls by a ball, which he's like, fuck. And then they realizes, glad I'm not him. Which Shona says, it's like, fine, you guys can do it for today. And then maybe next time we'll do it. You know how basically that ends. So they start working on it now. You know how she gets the dragon? Yeah, within that, also a different dragon, but a green one, not similar to that of Asia's. A green dragon starts flying around Izuku, which all of them says, "Oh, would you look at that? Another person with a dragon." And Ace is like complaining, it's like, "Oh, why can I not get a dragon?" Both of the dragons just scoffing at him and burning him alive. Anyways, this dragon is basically just another version of Elixia. Basically the descendant of Elixia. His name is Ezekiel. Not Ezekiel. Oh. We'll come back later. You guys can actually put the name for him. Anyways. Man, sorry about that. So he also gets another secondary one. A cat. More like a like galaxy type cat you'll see on the screen, and which he just turns around purring around Midoriya. He kind of gets reminded about Aizawa, and just like wants to name himself, but realizes it's a girl, and says, "Why not Celeste?" Because, you know, celestial skies and all that. Which Akina and Rhea just look at each other like, yeah, and Rhea says, you know what? That actually kind of fits. That kind of fits with him. Not gonna lie. And, you know, you get to the scene where Issei literally starts burning all of them. And then Rhea says, I keep forgetting he's a perv, but he's a good perv. I don't even know if that makes sense. And then proceeds to pull out a notebook and starts taking notes. It's basically a soft boy Batman. He's a cinnamon roll Batman. He's just taking notes. When he starts thinking that, they go back home, you know. Oh, not yet. Greeted by Mr. Kyoto and Mrs. Kyoto, you know, the usual. And which, after the next day, during the night, Deku's just straight out sleeping, and then Rhea's trying to advance and basically take Issei to give her his virginity, or take her virginity, in order not to give it to Riser. And which, you know, I think the wife of Sirzechs comes in and says no or something, which she proceeds to stop. The next day, you guessed it, you saw it earlier, Riser comes out and, you know, just literally gobs over her between Izuku and the basically Rhea's whole Parage is kind of just like disgusted. Issei's like on the verge of wanting to beat his ass. Izuku just overhears this pulls out like a miniature like cannon, just like, I really he doesn't look like a good person to me. I really want to blow his heads off. I could just feel. I can just feel all this dark energy come from him. Fortunately, yeah, he just gotta stand standby. But he has like, if he proceeds to do anything else, you know what I mean. He would basically just like shoot him in right there and there, non-lethally and not, not killing him, just like making sure he stays away. Which they proceeds. Riser says, "Oh, so this is your little barrage. Would you look at that? Three sacred creatures do you have in your barrage, more to my collection, since we're gonna have two family houses combined together." But Tria says, No. You see, I already love someone. His name is Issei Hyolo, which she points to Issei, and then I already have someone, which she points to Issei, and he says like, kind of blushing, like, "Hey, get your hands off her. Give your hands off the president." It's like, would you look at that? This boy isn't strong enough. What you gonna do? Fight me? Or some shit? Because, like, I can beat you in a one-on-one battle. And he's like, how about that? Let's go outside right now. And really starts putting out his boost. In which Rhea says, okay, stop. How about this? We'll do it in the form of a rating game. Which Issa's intrigued. Oh, yeah, she did mention about something. Let me just hear about this. Or is it also going to say, oh, and what do I get? Well, basically me. But if we win, you get to leave me alone. Does that sound good? Yeah, that sounds good. But I will make sure that it gets live broadcast to the whole demon underground, so you can get embarrassed while you failed. Which Rhea scoffs and is like, deal. Yeah. Which Riser says you have 1 week to train, which I highly doubt it's going to be effective. Later, Suga says, I really don't like him. Yeah, we don't either. And you see a small glimpse, the Berserker mode for Issei, which Issei just gets a vision like Buster mode activated. And then he says, what is this? Great, says Shana. It's Buster mode. It's the Berserker mode, which is a mode that, if under any circumstance you are mentally unstable or physically enraged, you will go into a Berserker-like state and basically destroy the whole entire world, or basically which place wherever you are. It's 2 modes. The first level, which is a demonic-like being, and the second one is similar to that of Elixia's dragon form, but more robotic. Thanks, Dinah, in his headspace, which is says, alright, let's go train. Mostly Issei, since he's a dumbass. Concludes, he is a dumbass, he's a perv, but he has a good heart. But still a damn perv. Punches him in the gut. He says like, what was that for? And Koneko says, you know it, you damn perv. And it's like, alright, let's go train. And that will be the end of all. Hopefully you liked it. Maybe 5 likes, 5-6 likes for part 3 actually.